are players who run fast. And then there's Elly De La Cruz.
Do it all. He can run, he can hit for power, he's got great hands.
A 6'5" shortstop who's also the fastest guy in all of baseball.
Who looks like he's been dropped into baseball straight from a video game.
De La Cruz, he's got a cannon. It's fired to the plate. The ball is there, the tag.
One pitch, he's vaporizing a ball 460 feet into the night. The next, he's circling the bases so fast the broadcast timer can't keep up.
Throw down, De La Cruz breaks in, it gets away to center. De La Cruz scores, steer to third, Tamar's throws.
And before you even catch your breath, he's stealing home like it's the easiest thing in the world. And tonight, we're counting down the top 10 plays that proved Elly De La Cruz isn't just electric. He's baseball's human thunderbolt. Number 10, and we're starting with pure flight. Balls screaming down the line, crowd already leaning forward thinking it's extra bases. But Elly, he turns left field into his personal trampoline. One stride, two strides, and then he launches. Full extension, glove stretched to the clouds, and somehow, he comes down with it. That's not just a catch, that's daylight robbery. That's Elly snatching a double straight out of thin air. The ump barely had time to call it before the Reds' dugout went nuclear. No wonder MLB slapped the Play of the Week tag on it. He didn't just save a hit, the dude stole a headline. And the best part, that's only number 10, because the very next play on this list, the ball doesn't fall into his glove, it explodes off his bat. Number 9 takes us back to Elly's second game in the big leagues. The Dodgers thought they were facing a rookie still finding his feet. Instead, Noah Syndergaard throws it, and Elly detonates it. 458 feet, out to dead center, off the bat at 114.8 miles per hour. That's not a welcome to the major swing. That's a welcome to my world swing. You could feel the air get sucked out of the park. Fans didn't just cheer, they gasped, like they just seen a Marvel origin story happen live. One pitch, and the legend was born. And just when you thought it couldn't get crazier, Elly showed the world he doesn't just hit baseballs out. He runs bases like a human blur. At number 8, the ball doesn't even need to clear the wall for Elly to blow your mind. June 7th, 2023, Dodgers in town. He ropes one into the gap, and then the real show begins. Elly drops into overdrive. One turn around first, a lean around second, and before you can even blink, dude slamming on the brakes at third. 10.83 seconds home to third. At that point, that was the fastest that had ever been done in the majors. That's not baseball speed. That's Olympic sprint speed in a Reds uniform. You can almost see the outfielders quit chasing. Because what's the point? And if you thought a triple was wild, wait until you see Elly steal home. Because at number 7, he turns Globe Life Field into his personal magic trick. Globe Life Field, Reds versus Rangers. The pitcher's locked in on the hitter, crowd buzzing. Routine moment, until Elly decides it's his show. He takes his lead off third, pauses for just a beat, then bolts. The catcher never moves. The pitcher never flinches. And by the time anyone realizes what's going on, Elly is sliding across home plate safe. A straight steal of home. The cameras could barely keep up. That's how insanely fast it all happened. 1 second, Cruz is standing at third. The next, he's grinning in the dugout, having swiped a run like it was child's play. And if stealing home wasn't enough, Elly's about to break out a cannon. At number 6, we're talking about a throw so violent, it registered like a rocket launch. Number 6, June 14th, 2025. Detroit thinks they've got an easy run. Ball bounces off the wall, Fraley scoops it clean, and here comes the relay. One flick to Elly, he plants, cocks back, and fires a missile. 98.3 miles per hour. On a line. No hop, right into the catcher's mitt. That's not an infield arm. That's an outfield cannon strapped to a shortstop. The throw didn't just stop the rally, it sent Comerica Park into stunned silence. And here's the crazy part. That wasn't even his hardest throw. At number 5, Elly cranks the dial even higher and makes StatCast itself do a double take. Number 5. July 2023. Giants threatening to score. Ball hits the outfield grass, relay comes in, and then it's Elly time. He scoops, plants, and lets it rip. 99.8 miles per hour, the hardest infield assist StatCast had ever tracked. Needless to say, the ball didn't arc. It sliced through the air like a laser, straight to the plate. The runner didn't even bother to slide. He just knew he was dead to rights. And just when he thought his arm was his biggest weapon, Elly shows you how fast he can fly around the bases. At number 4, he turns a routine line drive into a full-blown inside-the-park home run. Brewers vs. Reds, April 2024. First pitch of the at-bat, line drive into center. The fielder dives, misses by an inch, and that inch is all Elly needs. By the time anyone realizes what's happening, he's sliding across home in 14.98 seconds. That's an inside-the-park home run, his first. In the same game, he also crushed a 450-foot bomb over the fence. 2 homers, but 2 completely different flavors. One man, one night, pure electricity.
Payoff is crushed. Deep center. Off the top of the batter's eye.
And if you thought that was wild, wait until you see what happens when Elly actually connects with one. At number 3, he hits a baseball so hard, StatCast couldn't believe the numbers. They had to check twice. September 26, 2023. Guardians on the mound. Elly steps in, one swing, boom. StatCast says 119.2 miles per hour off the bat, 467 feet. The hardest hit ball by a Reds player in the StatCast era. Off the bat, it didn't look like a home run. It looked like a missile launch. Outfielders didn't even move. Fans didn't move. For a split second, it was just silence, and then explosion. That's not a home run, that's a warning shot. Proof that Elly's power isn't just rare, it's borderline unfair. And believe it or not, that's still not the wildest thing he's done. Because at number 2, Elly De La Cruz didn't just hit for power, he hit for history. Number 2, June 23rd, 2023. Just his 15th big league game. Most rookies are still figuring out the lights, the travel, the pressure, but not Elly. He's out there carving his name into baseball history. But Cruz wasn't done. He had smelled blood, and now he was going for the kill.
Pitch. First pitch. In the air to right. Acuna back. At the wall. Gone! De La Cruz does it again!
He ripped a ball into the gap, motors around second, and slides into third. And just like that, cycle complete. The youngest player to do it in over 50 years. The first Red since 1989. You could see it on his face. This wasn't a lucky night, this was the birth of a superstar. And if a cycle in his 15th game wasn't enough to convince you, well, number 1 will. The play that had the whole baseball world losing its mind. 3 bases, 2 pitches, and pure Elly chaos. July 8th, 2023. Reds vs. Brewers, 7th inning. Elly's on first. First pitch, he takes off. Steals second clean. Next pitch, he's gone again. Slides into third like it's nothing. And before the Brewers can even reset, before the catcher can even exhale, Elly breaks for home. Straight steal, safe. 3 stolen bases, 2 pitches. Something no Reds player had pulled off since 1919.
A couple of times at Brian Anderson, knowing that if he got a jump, he's going home! The throw! He stole home! The most thrilling man in baseball stole second, third, and home!
The crowd went berserk. The dugout was losing its mind. The announcers were shouting history as it happened. This wasn't just a highlight. That was a declaration. Elly De La Cruz doesn't just play baseball, he bends the game to his will. And that's Elly. Power, speed, arm, chaos. All in one player. And if this is just the beginning, well, baseball might not be ready for what comes next. So, which one had you out of your seat? Was it the cycle in his 15th game, the 119-mile-an-hour rocket, or the three-base chaos in Milwaukee? Drop your pick in the comments and tell us which Elly play deserves the crown. Because with this guy, every at-bat, every sprint, and every throw could be the next "Did you see that" moment. And trust me, this list is only going to get harder to update.